Hello everybody and welcome to the Ozzimon Library. Of course, I'm your host, the Librarian, and welcome to another video. We got another Orange Ranger for you guys. I don't know how long I'm going to keep this running. Maybe I'll go for all of them. Maybe I'll just do the Zordon era, then take a break. But anyway, I'm enjoying myself coming up with Orange Rangers for every single team other than Cosmic Fury, because of course they already have an Orange Ranger. And no, we are not counting Boone's Orange Ranger Dream Sequence suit, because that is a dream sequence, it's not canon. So today we're dealing with Turbo, a car-themed series, and of course one of the most questionable series of all Power Rangers, or one of them at least. Now, just to pre-warn you, Turbo's actually based off a Super Sentai that is considered a mock Sentai. There's a few seasons of Sentai which basically are a joke. They're meant to be funny, they're meant to be dumb, they're meant to be stupid, they're just meant to be, you know, just over the top and silly. And of course, Power Rangers doesn't follow that. But I followed that with this Orange Ranger. Our last Orange Ranger was very, very serious, and I wanted to kind of mix it up a bit. So, cars are, of course, the main theme, and yeah, I kind of struggled at first of what car to give the Orange Ranger, but then, of course, I'm obviously making this a big joke. So with that being said, I went with a taxi. Yes, a taxi. Primarily an American-style taxi with the yellow and stuff. Our UK taxis are black a lot of the time, or people just use normal cars. So we're going with the American style taxi, and I know they're yellow, but it's not hard to imagine an orange one, let's be honest. So with our car picked, we know we're going American taxi styled vehicle for a Zord. Let's talk about the actual Ranger himself. So when it came to the design, I'm basically following Turbo Red's suit, but I'm adding some black and white check pattern that you can find sometimes across taxis, across the side of the doors and things. We have the lights on top, and I actually added a speed meter on the top of the visor, because obviously in cars you have a speed meter which tells you how fast you're going, so I added that as well. For the belt, I added more of the check pattern. I kept the bands on the arms white because I felt like that fitted better. I added more black lining, which seems to be a current theme throughout the Power Rangers Turbo. I added more to him, just because why not? And then the name Taxi is written across the chest. Now, the word taxi, he actually draws on himself. I know that doesn't make any logical sense, but I mean, if, you know, the Black Cosmic Fury Ranger's arm magically stays a robotic arm when morphed, then I'm sure the Orange Ranger can draw on the word taxi onto his suit and keep it there. So yes, our Orange Ranger is a Taxi Ranger, and here he is. Honestly, I really love the way that I designed this. I'm trying out different drawing techniques, by the way, using different, air quote pen tips in Procreate, and I'm really enjoying kind of messing around and, you know, practicing and stuff. I really do enjoy this suit. I think I did a pretty good job. My only downside is the hands. I somehow kind of fumbled the thumb. It now looks like his entire fingers are wrapping over his thumb, and it looks pretty silly, but hey ho, maybe this Ranger doesn't know how to fight. Maybe that could be the lore of it. Who knows? But yes, our orange taxi driver, we're gonna call him Sir William the Third, and Sir William the Third, well, he thinks he's all posh and almighty, but realistically, he's just a plain taxi driver. His morpher is exactly the same to the Turbo Morphers, as of course there is no major 6th Ranger, and there is no alternative Morphers. I wanted to keep this one the same, and when Sir William III becomes a taxi driver, he thinks he's just doing a mundane job, when one day he has to escort someone, you know, doing his taxi service job from one place to another, point A to point B, and it turns out this guy's carrying the orange morpher, and when he drops it, when the taxi gets attacked, Sir William III wants to do something, and he picks up the morpher, straps him on, and morphs. Of course, in Turbo, they all have their signature callouts, you know, red lightning, turbo, power, and all that stuff. So his is just simply taxi service, turbo power. I think that'd be absolutely hilarious. Now, I did design the weapon, because that is one of our quotas for designing one of these rangers, and my friend A-Crown came up with an idea for a bow staff. We looked at the turbo weapons, and a lot of them are long-range weapons, with only 2 of the 5 being melee weapons. We have a sword and some form of like knuckle duster looking things. So we decided with a bow staff. Well, because this is a mock, this is a joke, we are mocking Turbo, I thought I'd do a really thick, chunky bow staff, very similar to things like the original story of Son Goku, and stuff like that. I designed it to be black and white checked, very similar to his turbo suit, and of course the check across the taxi. But also, I made the top a gear stick. The reason why I did the gear stick is because, well, when you drive a car, you need a gear stick. And I even added the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and reverse gears that you can do on a gear stick, and he can use that to bludgeon into enemies. So this would be, I never actually came up with a name for this, but I guess shift bow or gear bow? Gear stick bow? Maybe just the gear stick sounds kind of cool. Anyway, let me know what you guys would give, what name you guys would come up for a gear stick bow staff. So, there we have it, our Orange Turbo Ranger and our Orange Turbo Ranger's weapon. I haven't actually designed any morphers, realistically, other than Zeo. I promise we are going to start adapting morphers and changing them a little bit, so that's coming up. But yeah, I really do love my Orange Turbo Ranger. I think he's one of my favourites I've designed. He's not too outlandish, and he's incredibly fun because I've adapted a taxi. Oh, this is so stupid. I think this is the most stupidest thing I've ever drawn, but I actually really like the design. It came out really well, and I think I'm getting better at drawing Power Rangers, just personally. Anyway, let me know what you guys think of my Orange Taxi Ranger, Sir William III, the proud taxi driver who accidentally runs into a bunch of bad guys and morphs into the Orange Turbo Ranger. That being said, thank you everyone for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and notification bell so you guys don't miss another video, which we upload weekly. And of course, War of Passion, and I shall see you guys in the next video.